I even phoned Dylan. I was like, Dylan, I don't know why you're taking this fight, because this kid is on fire right now. And he's getting better and better. It's not like he's going backwards, he's going forward.
One of the reasons he is taking it is that Moses is WBO #1 at the moment, so that there's some kind of light at the end of the tunnel for Dillian taking that fight.
Ain't no light at the end of that tunnel.
I agree with you. I think
wrong. It's dangerous, and the board are now in a situation where they think shit. So I don't know how they're going to deal with that.
Yeah, I think it's a mismatch on paper. Of course it is. It's a fella that won a British title at welterweight, who hasn't boxed for a long time, against a fade.
The tension surrounding the potential clash between Dillian Whyte and Moses Itauma has reached fever pitch, and now Derek Chisora has stepped in with a warning so blunt it's making waves across the boxing world. Chisora isn't offering gentle advice or playing the role of a cautious elder statesman. He's issuing—
You want to be a killer, you hang out with killers. You train like a killer. Remember that.
a demand. Dillian Whyte should pull out of this fight immediately. To the uninitiated, it might sound like a publicity stunt or friendly banter between two seasoned heavyweights, but those who know Chisora understand he rarely says things without meaning them. And here, his message is rooted in equal parts respect for the sport, recognition of danger, and a dash of dark humor that only heightens the seriousness of his point. Chisora knows exactly what Moses Itauma brings: raw concussive power, blistering hand speed, and a killer instinct that smells weakness like blood in the water. His advice to Whyte isn't about giving the younger man a test, it's about avoiding a fight that could turn into a career-ending moment. He even jokes, don't put him to sleep too badly, but it's the kind of joke where the laugh covers a grim prediction.
People should be glad that a young man has fought the guys he fought, done what he's done. Take the fact that you say, I haven't been scared, I haven't been hiding and running, and he's fought good guys, and he lost, come back and still fought good guys. He didn't lose and then come back and say, I'm gonna fight this.
Chisora envisions a short, brutal night, 4 rounds at most. Anything longer, he says, means something has gone very wrong. If Whyte was expected to take that warning on board, think again. True to form, he bites back with venom. His reply drips with defiance, calling Chisora deluded and insisting he's not.
Moses is an exceptional talent. You know, he's been in the game a long time. He's got a very, long-standing amateur record and pedigree.
Not about to back down from anyone, but read between the lines, and there's the sense of a man walking straight into a fire without checking the temperature. In the soundbite war, Whyte might have landed the sharper jab, but in terms of reality, the danger remains exactly where Chisora put it. Eddie Hearn, never shy about promoting a fight, adds fuel to the discussion, but in his praise for Itauma, there's an undertone of quiet warning. When Hearn calls someone—
it could be a quick night for Moses Itauma, or it could be a banana skin where he's in for a war and he could get dragged into deep water. Either way, it's good for Itauma because we're going to see what he's all about, or is he going to have another quick night? We have to see. Or Dillian Whyte could think to himself, yeah, he could be kryptonite for Itauma, because he is.
Exceptional, it's not idle flattery. Moses Itauma isn't an overnight hype job. He's the product of years in the trenches, an amateur career most pros would envy, and a work ethic that refuses to plateau. To dismiss him as just another prospect is to invite disaster, and Hearn, without saying it outright, seems to be telling Whyte that this is no ordinary challenge. Then comes Peter Fury, offering one of the most balanced yet damning breakdowns of the fight. He paints 2 possible scenarios, both extreme. In one, Moses smashes through Whyte in record time, making a devastating statement. In the other, Whyte somehow drags the young lion into a punishment.
I like Dillian, but I think Moses wins and wins well. I think he's a class act. I think Dylan's best days are probably behind him. And I think he's a special talent, Moses. So I think Moses wins.
Finishing trench war, but even that, Fury warns, is not necessarily a winning scenario for Whyte. Experience can slow youth, sure, but only if youth lacks the power, speed, and hunger Moses possesses. Right now, Fury says, Moses looks like a man who cannot be slowed. Liam Smith doesn't bother with middle ground. He's not just picking Moses to win. He's practically urging Whyte to save himself the beating. His definition of Moses wins and wins well means it's not close, not competitive, and not worth the risk for a fighter whose best nights are already behind him. Coming from a man who's faced world-level opposition.
On the distance once, but I'm talking about with somebody who doesn't fiddle around, somebody who actually would like to get in the latter rounds and is capable of knocking people over. You know, he's a puncher. You've seen him do it, and he's done it with world-class fights.
That's more than just a casual prediction. It's a career advisory notice wrapped in polite phrasing. Frank Warren builds on that by reminding everyone that Moses isn't just an early round knockout artist. The one time he went the distance, it was against a man who could still take your head off in the 12th round, and Moses never stopped pressing. For a fighter like Whyte, who has had stamina issues and has been caught late in fights before, that's a nightmare matchup. If Whyte thinks he can weather the early storm and take over late, Warren's words kill that notion on the spot. Moses doesn't fade. He hunts from bell to bell. Warren's point is clear. There's no safe path to victory for Whyte here. Johnny Nelson, ever the straight
changing until that new star establishes himself. So just wait and see, but it's exciting.
What do you make of Itauma versus Dillian Whyte?
It's a good fight. Dillian likes to fight. He'll have to tear up. Yeah. You know, you can't test this man's cojones. You know, he'll fight anybody and everybody. So with Dillian doing that, you think, you know what? You know, it's a good fight, a good testing fight. And like, he might...
Talker adds another layer. He calls it a good fight, but drops the key word, gatekeeper. In boxing, that's code for a man who's there to test rising talent, not beat them. And if that's the role Whyte is in now, then Moses Itauma is the worst possible prospect to face. A perfect storm of hunger, speed, and skill that devours gatekeepers and leaves them as stepping stones. Nelson knows Whyte will fight anyone, but he warns that some fights aren't worth taking just for pride. Peter Fury's analysis resurfaces here. It's blunt truth impossible to ignore. In both of his scenarios, Moses comes out ahead. A quick win makes a statement. A long war gives him valuable experience while Whyte absorbs damage. The so-called crypto...
It could be a quick night for Moses Itauma, or it could be a banana skin where he's in for a war and he could get dragged into deep water. Either way, it's good for Itauma because we're going to see what he's all about, you know, or is he going to have another quick night? We have to see. Or Dillian Whyte could think to himself, yeah, he could be kryptonite for Itauma because he is.
Kryptonite of experience only works if the younger fighter can be slowed, and right now Moses looks unstoppable. Whether the fight ends early or late, Whyte is left in a worse position than when he entered. Gareth A. Davies searches for the only possible battlefield where Whyte might gain an edge: the mind. He suggests Whyte could try to rattle Itauma in the press conferences, disrupt his focus, and force mistakes before fight night. But Moses doesn't look like a man who cracks under pressure. This is a fighter groomed for the spotlight, one who thrives when the lights are brightest. Gareth's idea sounds more like desperation than strategy. Trash talk evaporates when the first bell rings, and what's left is just two men and the consequences of their choices. Buddy McGirt takes a different approach, analyzing Moses's mindset. He describes it like a war film: bullets flying, smoke filling the air, and a soldier advancing without fear. To McGirt,
I was thinking about this earlier, Umar, and I was thinking that next week in Riyadh, Dillian needs to try and get in Moses's head in the fight week. And that might mean an aggressive assault at the press conference. It might mean...
This fight isn't just another date on the calendar for Moses. It's a career milestone, a chance to plant his flag and announce to the heavyweight division that the new guard has arrived. McGirt warns that Moses won't underestimate Whyte, won't give him breathing room, and won't allow a single moment to reset. Against a younger, faster, sharper opponent, Whyte's years in the wars may be more of a burden than a benefit. Even from Whyte's own camp, the optimism is cautious. His manager admits that victory is possible only if everything goes perfectly. And there's the problem. Against Moses Itauma, perfection isn't optional. It's the bare minimum for survival. One mistake, one dropped hand, one misjudged distance, and Moses will punish it instantly. Whyte's career history shows he's human, and humans make errors under pressure. Moses' style is built to feed off those errors and close the show without hesitation. Then there's Tyson Fury, who perhaps comes the closest to voicing...
Because I think he understands the importance of this fight. I mean, what it means to him in his career. So, you know, it's all about now going out now, and it's like all about bullets and guns.
Even a hint of doubt about Moses, saying it might be too early for him. But even in that same breath, Fury calls Moses a very good fighter and praises his ability to absorb knowledge like a sponge. And when a man like Fury, who has shared the ring with the best heavyweights of his era, is impressed, that carries weight. It also reveals the deeper danger for Whyte. Moses can adapt mid-fight. Whatever plan you bring, he can figure it out and dismantle it before you've had time to adjust. And so we circle back to Derek Chisora's original demand. This isn't just idle chatter to stir hype. Chisora's been in the trenches, fought the young guns and the seasoned killers alike, and he knows what it's like to stand across from someone who's not just there to beat you, but to end you. His message to Whyte is simple. The smarter move is to walk away now, because this fight, for all its appeal to fans, carries stakes that go beyond titles, rankings, or paydays. It's about pride, legacy, and survival. For Whyte, the risk isn't just losing, it's losing in a way that changes the trajectory of his career.
I believe if Dillian gets it right, he can beat any heavyweight in the world. You know, he's another fighting man that believes in himself, and he's mentally very strong, mentally very, very strong man. He just has to get it right on the night, and this is the heavyweight business. You know, the fact that he'll be the underdog, that will motivate him and push him to do what he knows that he can. And that's
forever. For Moses, it's the perfect opportunity to put the heavyweight division on notice, and the consensus among boxing's sharpest minds is that he's ready to seize it. From the brutal honesty of Liam Smith to the tactical warnings of Peter Fury, from the promotional praise of Eddie Hearn to the war-ready imagery of Buddy McGirt, the message is the same in different words. Moses Itauma is not the kind of opponent you walk towards without a flawless plan and the tools to execute it under fire. And even then, there's no guarantee it will be enough. The boxing community now waits to see if Whyte will heed the calls of caution or embrace the challenge head-on. But as Chisora, Warren, Nelson, McGirt, and even Fury have hinted, this isn't a fight you take for the sake of pride alone. Because pride, as one commentator put it, doesn't block up.
Interesting to see how much that Dillian Whyte has left. And could this be potential? I think it does have the potential to do what Martin McCauley did to Jared Anderson. Maybe it's too early, or maybe he passes with flying colours. And that's why you got to watch it and find out. But one thing I will say about Moses is he's a very good fighter, good little boxer, good puncher, and a lovely kid as well. It's like a
uppercuts. If the fight does happen, the script seems already written in the minds of many observers. A young, hungry powerhouse meets a proud veteran with miles on the clock. One looking to announce his era, the other trying to prove he still has rounds left in him. But the danger, as Chisora sees it, is that this isn't the kind of fight where the old guard wins respect in defeat. It's the kind that leaves them wondering why they stepped through the ropes in the first place. And that is why Derek Chisora's demand isn't just about one night in the ring. It's a message to the entire heavyweight division. Be smart, be prepared, and never underestimate a fighter like Moses Itauma, because when the bell rings, all the talk, all the bravado, all the history fades away, and what's left is a simple truth. Some storms you weather, others you step aside for.